Okay, hey everybody. So I want to do a garden tour. Now, I have not seen the garden since June 5th. I took my youngest daughter, Darian, on a vacation this past week. We went to Key West, Florida. Uh, for those of you that have not been to Key West, I highly encourage you to go at some point. And even more so, you've got to do the Fort Jefferson seaplane adventure tour, or you've got to take the seaplanes out there. The captain we had was amazing. The tour was insane. The water was crystal blue, as you can see in these pictures here. Just an amazing vacation. But now I'm back. I want to do a garden tour, but I have not seen the garden. Literally, I came out my door. I'm facing the house, and I have not seen the garden yet. So this garden tour is going to be new to you and me both because, again, I haven't seen it. So let's do it. Okay, you all have actually seen the garden more than I have because you're looking at it. I'm about to turn around and see it, so a little nervous. Okay, it actually looked really good. My grass could totally be cut. Yeah, I'm actually pleased with what I see right off the bat. So let's get into this garden tour. Now, normally I'll start over here by the cilantro. So let's start by the cilantro. And as I expected, the heat is starting to kill this off and it's gone to flower. So I'm just gonna let it go to flower. I want this to be a cilantro bed, so I'm just gonna let it do its thing. The pineapple sage, of course, is huge, and I've got a nice dill growing up, which makes me happy right there. Jumping over here, we got tomato. Oh, first tomato on these. Oh, there's a few of them in here. Sweet. Okay. We got beans here that I'm doing for nitrogen fixation. My guava and papaya plants are doing good. Got some radishes that are really doing good. Now, these are the Spanish black radishes. They're not ready yet. They're not even poking up yet. Coming over, look at all the sweet potato slips and how good they're all doing. I don't think I lost a single one of them. Look at that. They all look amazing. Very happy there. Very happy here. And it looks like I'm going to have one good radish out of this bunch here, which I'll probably pull soon. Okay, now right off the bat, do you all see the one that does not belong? So this is a normal potato down here. Not sure which potato this is. I believe this is the legacy potato from last year's experiments, but we'll see. In front here, I did some beans just to help with nitrogen fixation. It's a bush bean. What is this? Tongues of fire. Got some holes on the top, but these are doing good. I wanted to grow some beans because their roots are short or shallow, where the sweet potatoes obviously are much deeper, but they are all looking fantastic. Okay, so behind me is a single seed challenge tomato plants. Again, I haven't seen them in a week. Let's check them out. Okay, they are about a foot taller, probably easily a foot taller, and just kind of everywhere. And I already see a problem. Okay, so if you can't see it right there, because I can't get this thing to focus, that's an armyworm. That is about to die. No more armyworm. All right, so I've got a lot of dead branches in here. This one is Moonlight from the Single Seed Challenge, and this one is Starbright. This one is mine. This one was the second grade classroom's plant. Not looking too bad. Got a radish growing there, some basils that I'm letting go to flower. All in all, the single seed challenge plants look good. I'm not unhappy about them. I'm gonna have to go back in and really look for pests though, because where there's one worm, I'm sure there's gonna be more. All right, panning over here, these okras look pretty good, and then these are a bush bean. Again, I'm planting beans in areas to help with the nitrogen in the soil. But the okra looks good, and now that the Houston heat is here, they should really take off. Like really take off. We've got poblanos growing, finally. Looks like I've got 3 that I can see. Got some cayenne peppers over there. They're all looking good. Another poblano right here. It's looking good. More beans down in there. Little spider web going. Let nature do its thing. What I like to do. More peppers. Jalapenos are all through there. Now right off the bat, one thing I notice is these marigolds have just blown up around this garden. So I'm gonna have to thin these out along with this mint that I have. Which again, if y'all don't know, I planted peppermint last year in these beds not knowing how bad it was for in-ground beds, and now I'm stuck with peppermint. One good thing is I'll never have snakes in this garden. Okay, turning around, tomatoes. Look at all these tomatoes. Now, if you see a difference here, right here are trellis tomatoes, and then these kind of look wild. What I decided to do was trellis up all of these and let these kind of be natural. Now, not so natural to where I don't have them on stakes and stuff to help support the weight, but I'm just kind of letting them do their thing. I want to see if the yields are different. And from what I can see is the growth is great, but I don't see any tomatoes over it on this side, really. They're growing good. Oh, no, there's some tomatoes. Some really weird shaped tomatoes right there. Oh, got one right there. It's probably ready to, looks like it's been hit with the bug already. So let's go and take that one off. Yeah, this tomato's bad. That's all right. It's a pretty tomato though, isn't it? Good night. Look at that thing. Wonder what that was. I'll get the name for it and put it in the description. I'll put it in right here. Look at these tomatoes. They're very weird shaped. I'm guessing it's that kind of tomato. We've got peppers in here that are growing good. Need to be harvested. Okay, so now here's a test. Now remember I hung these Christmas ornaments right here as bird deterrents. And again, I've been gone for a week. So the tomatoes out here have been pretty much left on their own. If there aren't any bird damage in these tomatoes, I'm going to consider the Christmas ornaments a success. So let's see. Please don't be any. Okay, y'all are witnesses right here. These are definitely red enough to where birds flying over would have seen them. You can see all the tomatoes that I have going. And the red ones do not have any bird damage. I know it's still early, but I don't have any damage to the red tomatoes from birds. So I'm going to consider this crazy idea of hanging Christmas ornaments a success. What do you all think? Leave comments down below if you agree or disagree. I would love to have a discussion. Okay, again, another huge marigold going nuts. That is the tomato sucker experiment that I did, and it's still alive. Now it's being blocked out from this. Oh wait, there's another tomato right there. Look at that, hiding. It's being blocked out by this marigold, but it's not dead. This was another right here tomato sucker that I just plucked off and threw in, and look at that thing. It is 2 foot tall. Flip over here to this bed. This area was bare. I never planted anything before I left. We got some beautiful flowers that are finally growing. Tomato that needs to be harvested. That's a yellow tomato. It's called a yellow lemon boy, I believe. Everything is looking good. The okra is starting to come on. This is all okra in here. I don't know why I have these here. This is all okra, and they're all starting to come on. Now these right over here are Okinawan pink okra. The rest of these were just regular green, I think emerald okra. But again, now that the heat's here, they're going to take off. Now I'm really disappointed right here I'm really disappointed in my eggplants. They haven't taken off like they did last year. So I'm going to actually transplant one of these over into this bed, because this bed is the most mature bed with the soil. And hopefully that will make these grow. But I'm going to transplant one of these. Coming right beside it, we've got a bunch of beans. Again, nitrogen fixation, and I want to try canning beans this summer. So hopefully these plants will start putting on beans. These are those burgundy green beans, or burgundy beans, I guess. They might be green beans. Coming on down, peppers are doing good. More peppers, 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 peppers. Again, I've gone pepper crazy this year. So this bed actually is looking pretty good. Really happy with that. Okay, so right beside the tomatoes, we have more okra. If you haven't been able to tell yet, I'm kind of going okra crazy this year. Pepper and okra crazy. I really have gotten into liking canned okra. So I want to can a lot of different okras. Coming on, if anyone knows what this is, because I have no clue. It's not a basil, or a dill. It doesn't really have a smell. I don't know if it's a weed or not, but I like it. It seems to add color, and I've just let it go. Again, beans, 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 beans all through here. Now, when I left, they weren't even half this size. So in a week, these things have just taken off. Then coming over, more tomatoes, tomatoes, tomatoes. Going tomato crazy. Not really, but I do have a lot of tomatoes. They're all looking good for the most part. Basil right there. Now this section, I'm really happy to see all the flowers. This whole thing are the Armenian cucumbers. I don't see any yet. Let's go in and take a look. Oh, we got the first Armenian cucumber right there. Hopefully that thing was pollinated and it'll start growing. I'm really excited to see these, because if they take off, then I will grow these constantly. I think it's a cool idea. Coming over, we got cantaloupe, and watermelon galore in here. And they are just going everywhere. Look at this one watermelon vine. Going all the way back over there. That's crazy. And okay, good. So this one is Kate's single seed cantaloupe that I'm doing for her. Kate was a young lady in the 2nd grade classroom who decided to give me seeds from one of her cantaloupes. I did a YouTube short on that, and look how good it's doing. It's really taken off. I'm really proud of that plant right there, and for her. It's awesome. I do not see any cucumbers, or I'm sorry, I don't see any cantaloupe growing yet. Really would love to see cantaloupes. Let's see. Nope. No cantaloupes yet. What about watermelons? Let's see. Do we have any watermelon? We got the vines for it, that's for sure. Good Lord. Now there was a watermelon, a little baby one in here somewhere before I left. I don't know if it was pollinated, so let me look. Nope, I don't think it was pollinated. Okay. So all in all right here, everything's looking really good. Really happy about that, because I was very worried. Again, pineapple sage, when you plant these things, they go nuts. So just be prepared, but they put on beautiful pink flowers that bring in pollinators and even hummingbirds, which makes me very happy. The fairy garden needs a serious pruning. Like, you can't even see the water anymore. Most of the garden is actually hidden. I mean, look at that. Wow, it's like Fern Gully on steroids. So there will be a video coming soon on updating this. These strawberries are doing good. Dwight's all right. More strawberries over here. And then look here, I planted beans again in this area that just I want to help with nitrogen. It's doing good. Another section right here of beans. I didn't know what to put in this raised bed, so I just put beans in here. And look, they're doing pretty good. I'm happy. Either way, it's fixing the nitrogen. These are dragon tongue. beans. This is a cinnamon basil right here, and man, does it smell. Oh, it smells so good. Oregano, Mexican tarragon, and garden sage. So they're all doing pretty good. Definitely not complaining there. Or my serrano pepper plants, putting on peppers. Happy. Blueberry bed is okay. I mean, the blackberries look great. Not sure about the blueberries. I've tried fixing the pH in this, and this is the outcome. So I'm gonna give this another year. I'm gonna let this go for this year and see how it goes. This might just turn into a blackberry bed, because look how good those are doing. I do have a serious insect issue right here with all these little white things on it. They're about to get crushed. More peppers, more bell peppers that really need to be taken care of. And then this one is covered in these little white deals. I don't know what they are. More pest issues. Okay, everyone, so I'm almost done. I've got 3 more beds to go, and I'm very happy with what I see so far. So, well, for the most part. These beans are all 1,500-year-old cave beans, and they're growing up the trellis. That makes me happy. Coming on down, we have more beans that are really doing good. More beans, more beans. They're all doing good. Now, as we come down here, these are all cucumbers that aren't doing so good. They're not dead, but they're not doing good. So I'm just kind of letting them be for now until I can figure out what to put in here, just to be honest. But the beans are good. Now, these are all pole beans, so they all should start going up these trellises. Like these, I need to just interweave in between the trellis there and get them going. Those are looking good. Now, if we swing over, dun dun dun. Yeah, if y'all remember, this is where all the squash and zucchini were that I had. And they're all dead. The vine borers destroyed them. And I left it like this until I got back. So the next time you see this bed, there'll be all brand new life in here. Now, what does make me really, really, really happy is the tomatillos. All of the tomatillo plants are doing fantastic. I don't see any tomatillos though. Plenty of flowers, but I don't see the actual fruit. So yeah, that's kind of disheartening, but I was really hoping to have some tomatillos growing, but it is what it is. We'll see. Okay, so right off the bat, that has to be harvested. This is a yellow bell pepper that's obviously getting way too much sun. Figs are doing good. Now, these are my 2 newest figs, and they've doubled in size. That's the fig that I did the cutting from, and you can see it's doing good. So everything's doing good over here. The fig trees are putting on fruit. My mandarin orange trees are finally putting on fruit. Lost a lot of its leaves. I'm not sure why, but I guess I need to fertilize. But it's putting on fruit, so that's good. Coming over, got limes growing. So this year might be a good year for limes. Calamondin here, obviously, is always doing good. Onion experiment, still doing fine. Now, when I left, this plant looked almost dead, and now look at it. It's putting on flowers and leaves. Jalapenos looking good. So all in all, the container garden is doing pretty good. I'm very pleased. Okay, and the last bed is the pepper bed. Now, when I left, the peppers were looking kind of yellow. I'm happy to say that they don't look yellow anymore as much. So this entire bed is nothing but peppers. Peppers, peppers, peppers. Right off the bat, we've got some nice pepper growth there. We got some a bell pepper there, another bell pepper there. So the pepper bed's looking good. They're all not dead. They need water, as you can see, but they're not dead. So the pepper bed's looking good. Hopefully by July they will be even bigger, because I'm not sure why they're not growing the way they grew last year. but we'll figure it out. Okay, everyone, so that's the garden tour. Now, again, I had not seen the garden since I left, and I'm actually very pleased with how it looks. I'm not upset about anything. I mean, things are gonna die, things are gonna, you know, you're gonna have setbacks with pests and stuff, and it is what it is, right? It's gardening. I mean, that's just part of it. So, I'm not upset about anything out here. I'm actually very happy. And this, I wish was not damaged, because that is such a beautiful tomato. I can't get over how pretty that is. I believe this is a Dad's Sunset tomato. Could be wrong, but pretty sure that's what this is. All right, everyone, so that's what I got for you today. That's the garden tour for what is this, June 12th, 2022. I want to invite everyone to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Just hit the subscribe button and then hit that little bell so you're always notified whenever I upload videos. You can check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Down Home Backyard Gardening into the search bar and you'll find me. I try to update every day, every other day during this time of the year. I want to thank everyone for watching, and as always, shine bright and harvest hard. Bye. You can check me out on Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Down Home Backyard Garden. I'm screwing up the name of my own channel. I took my youngest daughter Darian on a vacation. Oh, I got ate up by mosquitoes, man. Hate mosquitoes, y'all. Hate them. Okay, so now that the video is over for the garden tour, I want to talk a little bit about Fort Jefferson and that adventure that my daughter and I went on. The captain that we had, whose information I'm putting up right here, was amazing. The man was great. Gave a great tour, super friendly, and as you can see, let Darian sit up in the cockpit on the way back from the fort. Everything about that was amazing. Now you got two ways to get out to Fort Jefferson from Key West. You can take a ferry, which I believe takes like 2.5, 3 hours one way to get out there, or you can take the seaplane. Now, the seaplane is more expensive than the ferry, but my gosh, is it worth it. The views are amazing. All the knowledge that they impart on you about everything going out to the fort itself, and everything coming back from the fort is just awesome. And if you're a history nerd like I am, or a history buff, Fort Jefferson is a place to go. Now, a few things about Fort Jefferson is it's the least visited national park in the country, which of course it's 75 miles off the west end of Key West. So it's not exactly easy to get there. 16 million bricks went into building the fort, and they didn't even finish the fort. When the Civil War broke out, it was still not even complete. So it is a very real building. There are no modern safety precautions put up on the thing. There's no handrails or guardrails, as you can see in these pictures. And if you go over the edge, I mean, it's a 40-50 foot drop, 30-40-50 foot drop, I don't know, down to a shallow moat. So you're gonna be hurt. So you got to be paying attention. If you take your little kids, you got to have them like right beside you. And if you've got little kids, I would advise highly not take them to the top floor, the third floor of, or the top deck of the fort. Just saying. I mean, I took Darian up there, and as a dad, I was freaking out. I'm like, hey, get away from the edge. And she wasn't even near the edge. So I was being overprotective, but I mean, I'm a dad, so it is what it is, right? It's just part of the job. And even I was worried about myself, like one slip and you're going over the edge. Just kidding. The water is crystal blue out there. We got in the water, had fun, swam for a while, got back on the plane and flew back. Now, as you're flying, there is so much you can see from up there, and the pilot will teach you how to look for sharks, turtles, dolphins, stingrays. I saw everything but a stingray. Saw 6 sharks, bunch of dolphins, countless amount of turtles, sea turtles out there. The water is just beautiful, and then flying in over the fort is just amazing. So I highly encourage, if you go to Key West, spend the extra money and take the seaplane out there. Again, my captain's information was right here. The man is fantastic. Had a blast. Loved every minute of it out there. I mean, I felt like a kid on Christmas. It was just amazing. And again, as a history person, you want to go see this at least once in your lifetime. It's an amazing experience. That's all I'm gonna say. I'll go ahead and end all this with some video that I took while we were flying out there. Hope you all enjoy it, and if you haven't been, again, seriously, I highly encourage you to go. All right, bye-bye. So we are standing in the cell of Dr. Samuel Mudd, which if you know your history is the doctor who set John Wilkes Booth's leg after he killed Lincoln. He was sent here as a prisoner. It's kind of eerie, honestly. And then that's the door right there. It's really cool to be here, like really cool. Like turn around with it all behind me. All right, we just came up these crazy stairs. I'm out of breath, man, seriously, but look at how awesome it is. We're at the top of the fort. What a view. And now let's go. Look at that view. Oh yeah, we're going up there.
Okay, so this is the Guardian of the Gulf. If you didn't notice, just letting you know.
Guardian of the Gulf. Hey, one thing that's kind of cool and creepy, there are no handrails here around this entire place. There's no modern safety anything. This is truly historic. And then, bam, look at that view. My word. Really cool. Look at that in the background. Love it. Oops, turn that around. So we are at the very top. There's no higher point than this right here at Fort Jefferson. Really cool courtyard. They say 8 rangers, park rangers, live here 24/7. I guess over here. They get their food delivered once a week. Like one of those cannons from back in the day. It's so cool. Look at that cannon right there.
My Snapchat is gonna be so lit.
It's gonna be lit, yo.